Hello and welcome to another video from me, the History Tutor, and in this video we're working through the Edexcel iGCSE topic of Germany 1918 to 1945. We're going to look at the bullet point question, which is question 3 in the exam, and we're going to decide, how did Hitler rise to power? So as I said, we're going to look at the important question 3, your bullet point question in your exam, and we're going to be looking at Hitler's rise to power. So that could be the Great Depression, the weakness of the Weimar system, Hitler's own strengths. To revise all those topics now, we're going to have a quick quiz, and then we're going to work through how to do a successful answer for this question, how to gain close to top marks and be very successful in your exam. So revise your knowledge, and then we'll have a quick quiz. Let's take a look at these 8 quiz questions, see if you can find the answers. Use your revision guide, if you like, to find the answers and then fill them in on the page. Or test yourself, see if you can remember all of them having read through the pages. So pause me now and give it a go. Okay, so here are the answers. So how many people were unemployed in Germany in 1932? So if you can remember somewhere between 5 to 6 million, that's fantastic. So that would be a good fact to remember. And obviously all those people are going to be relatively unhappy they haven't got a job. So they are the people who start to turn to the communists and the Nazis, turning away from the democratic parties and creating this polarized idea in Germany within politics that people have gone to the extremes, the poles, the communists on the left side, the Nazis on the right side. How many major banks collapsed in 1932? So that's 5 major banks. So what's the importance of that? So that meant the banks weren't loaning money to businesses. Businesses are now collapsing. That means the middle class people are suffering as well. And also people have lost their money. If they've got savings in the bank, they've lost that as well. So rich and middle class people have now missed out. So what percent of unemployed did not receive government financial aid or help? So up to 45% of people didn't get any government aid or help. So that meant they had to rely on charity perhaps, or they were in abject poverty and were homeless. So there's many images of the time that show you people living in the parks of Berlin and Munich and other major cities, reliant on soup kitchens, reliant on help and charity from others, just living in almost like shanty towns in the cities of Germany. So real mass poverty took place. So how many seats did the Nazis gain in July 1932 election? So 230 seats. So that's when they become the largest party. But the president doesn't want Hitler to be in power, so he can't become chancellor. So the Weimar system tried to create governments against Hitler, but it's difficult because Hitler and the communists combined, these 2 extreme parties, they outnumber all the democratic parties in the middle, and so Weimar is failing. And the president has to turn to Article 48 to try and pass laws. So it's a bit of a disaster at this time. So who convinced Hindenburg, the president, to make Hitler chancellor and that he could control him? So January 1933, this scheme takes place. So von Papen believes that he can control Hitler. So von Papen will be the vice chancellor. Hitler will be the chancellor with only 2 other Nazis in the government. And von Papen believes he can control Hitler and use his seats in the Reichstag to pass laws. So this is because it got to be a desperate measure. Von Papen had an argument with another man called von Schleicher, and their rivalry had led von Papen to this desperate move. And obviously it's going to fail miserably. So what did Hitler gain after the Reichstag fire? So the Reichstag fire took place in a time where Hitler had called a new election for March 1933. And the Reichstag fire took place in February 1933. And Hitler argued to President Hindenburg that there was going to be a communist uprising. This was the start of a crisis. So Hitler was given emergency powers to control political groups and shut down meetings and arrest people. So he used these emergency powers to shut down his opponents in the election campaign and benefit himself. This helped him to win the election and gain a huge majority, but not quite 50% of the vote. Which law gave Hitler 4 years dictatorial powers? So after the election, he announced he wanted the enabling law. And this would give him the dictatorial powers for 4 years. It had to be passed by a 2/3 majority of the Reichstag. And this was passed because Hitler made a deal with the nationalists and the centre Catholic parties that he wasn't going to interfere with any of their policies and ideas, and they accepted it. The chaos of the Great Depression, the belief that all these parties together were just failing and democracy was failing in this system, people accepted it and they gave him the powers. The only party against it was the socialists, and the communists, of course, were in trouble for the Reichstag fire, so they were not involved in the Reichstag at this time. So Hitler has then, after enabling law, he has control of the Reichstag, and he's a dictator for the next 4 years in law. So he brings in laws like banning other political parties, banning trade unions, starts to set up concentration camps for opponents, and controls the country, creating a one-party state. But he's not quite in control of his own party yet. So he has to crush the opposition in his own party. And that's what we get the Knight of Long Knives for in 1934. This is crushing the SA and, in particular, Ernst Röhm. Ernst Röhm wants the SA to become the army, which will give him huge amounts of power, be a massive power block for him. So Hitler decides to remove Ernst Röhm and a few other enemies of his in the Knight of Long Knives. The SS can go out and destroy Hitler's enemies. Now, the benefit of this is that the army, the actual real army in Germany, are really pleased that Hitler has destroyed the SA and Ernst Röhm and chosen them as the army that he's going to rearm. And they reward Hitler by swearing an oath of loyalty to Hitler personally. Okay, so here is our question 3. It says, the Reichstag fire was the main reason why Hitler was able to become dictator of Germany. How far do you agree? Explain your answer. You may use the following in your answer. The Reichstag fire, the Knight of Long Knives, and you must also include information of your own. And it's 16 marks. List now some of the skills you think we'll need whenever we're doing this type of question. So you can always refer to this for these explain to effect questions. So pause me now and list your ideas. Okay, so here's what I think you need to do. So you need to write a PL paragraph explaining each bullet point. And as I'll come to in a minute, that does also mean the end one where it says including information of your own. So we're looking for a PL paragraph, point, evidence, explain, link. What does that mean? So first you need to write a point of argument supported with some factual examples about the bullet point. Then we need to do a factual argument about an idea of your own. If you don't do that, you're limited actually to 6 marks if you don't include an idea of your own. So within the paragraph then, once you've given your points of evidence, you need to explain and think about the impact of this and explain with focus on the question. You also need to evaluate your argument. So link and explain. So think about a furthermore for an extra positive. You think that idea is really important, or however, something you think is not so important. Once your bullet points explained, you need to produce a short conclusion. Okay, so nice and simple skills. We're looking for 3 paragraphs, short conclusion, explain each in evaluative paragraphs. Okay, so let's plan our ideas now. So we've got our 2 bullet points there, the Reichstag fire, Knight of Long Knives, and I've got other argument. So think about some other ideas. You could be thinking about the weaknesses, for instance, of Weimar, maybe, or other policies of Hitler that could help you decide how he became a dictator. So have a look through your revision guide and see if you can find some key examples and some impacts. So think about maybe doing example, then impact on him gaining power, of course, and becoming a dictator. So have a look through, pause me now, and add ideas into your plan. All right, so here's what I said. The Reichstag fire. So obviously, the communist van der Lubbe blames the Reichstag fire, and we get equals the protection of the people law to stop the revolution. So the Nazis use this to control the March 1933 election campaign, helping them gain more votes. So they get 44% of the votes. They get a massive amount of seats in the Reichstag. They can ban the communists, and then alongside a deal with the nationalists, they are the majority coalition in the Reichstag. So the banning of the communists also helps them pass the enabling law because there's not the communist opposition in the Reichstag, and they can pass the enabling law, giving them 4 years dictatorial power. So it's got 2 quite good impacts. So Knight of Long Knives then, this is about controlling the party. So Hitler had Röhm killed and the SA destroyed. Hitler's biggest rival was killed and the power of the SA could be destroyed. So Hitler is in charge of his party. And because Hitler chose the army over the SA, the army swore an oath of loyalty to Hitler. So he's now got huge power. He is the dictator of Germany with 4 years dictatorial powers, the unquestioned leader of his party. And the army are his personal army. So what could be another argument? So some of the other policies Hitler brought in, so he banned opposition parties and unions. This meant opposition could not organise against him. Concentration camps were set up to control opposition. So he starts to bring in terror and fear to control people as well. So how do we write this then? So we're going to write in appeal paragraphs, as I suggested earlier. We'd say something like, firstly, the Reichstag fire was quite or very important reason why Hitler became dictator of Germany, because we set out a reason why. Then we're going to give some evidence. As we just did, we'll describe something about the Reichstag fire. Then we're going to explain this helped Hitler become dictator because, we can give the consequence. Then we could do a furthermore, this helped him become dictator if we think it's very important. Or we could give a weakness if we like, talk about the limitations of this for him. However, why it might not be so important. Let's work through this first one together, shall we? So what would make a good first opening sentence? So I've got to start here for it. It says, firstly, the Reichstag fire was a very important reason why Hitler became dictator of Germany because... Okay, can you think of a reason why? Why did it help him? Think about how it increases the success in the election, perhaps. Okay, pause me now and give your opening reason in your revision guide. So I've said, firstly, the Reichstag fire was a very important reason why Hitler became dictator of Germany because it helped him to gain a Reichstag majority and introduce the enabling law. Okay, so nice, easy idea. And hopefully now the consequences are quite simple to talk about as well. So now I want a little bit of evidence about the Reichstag fire. So for example, I'll try and describe some of the important information about the Reichstag fire that you can then link to the consequences. So 1 or 2 sentences only, away you go. So I've said, for example, due to the Reichstag fire, Hitler was able to gain emergency powers from Hindenburg as people feared a communist revolution. Hindenburg used Article 48 to introduce a law for the protection of the people and state. So how did this help Hitler get into power? So now explain the impact. So pause me now and finish this bit. This helped Hitler become dictator because... Okay, away you go. So this helped Hitler become dictator because the Nazis were able to use this law to shut down opposition rallies and meetings in the build-up to the March 1933 election. This helped the Nazis to gain 44% of the vote in the election. Also, using the protection law to ban the communists and make an alliance with the nationalists, Hitler had a Reichstag majority. So that's significant. Now, there's obvious furthermore here because we haven't talked about the enabling law yet, and we've got it in our opening sentence. So we need a furthermore that really shows the massive importance of the Reichstag fire. So pause me now, and away you go with your idea. So I said, furthermore, this helped Hitler to be dictator because the Catholic and centre parties were willing to support Hitler due to their fear of a communist revolution after the fire. And it helped it to get a 2/3 majority so that it could pass the enabling law and have 4 years of dictatorial powers. Not that challenging. Hopefully you can see that's quite common sense. Example, then impact to develop our argument. Now try this for the Night of Long Knives. We've got our plan. We know this is about destroying opposition in his own party and gaining control. We know it's very important and eventually it'll lead to the army supporting him. So we've got lots of big impacts here. So pause now and go for the whole idea yourself. Away you go. Okay, so here's my idea. I've said, however, the Night of Long Knives was quite an important reason why Hitler became dictator of Germany because it helped him to remove his enemies and to gain the loyalty of the army. For example, in 1934, Hitler faced a crisis as the SA leader Ernst Röhm wished his brown shirt army to become the military of Germany. Hitler, who felt threatened by Röhm's power, sided with the official German army and had Röhm killed during the Night of Long Knives and the SA destroyed. This helped Hitler to become dictator because he removed significant power within his party. Röhm had the support of 1 million brown shirts and could have easily taken over or overthrown Hitler. Furthermore, by destroying the SA and choosing the army, the German army swore an oath of loyalty to Hitler personally. This gave Hitler almost complete power in Germany as he had to control the Reichstag and the army. However, I thought it was quite important, so I'm going to do a however. However, without Reichstag fire leading to a Reichstag majority in the enabling law, Hitler would not have been in such a strong position in 1934, with like a one-party state and being a dictator, of course. Now, the last bit of the question asks you to do information of your own. So try and do a short little paragraph about something of your own idea, really quite important. So finally, Hitler banning of opposition parties and unions was quite or very important because, so see if you can come up with an idea about how his early sort of dictatorial laws and control and creating fear were important in setting up his dictatorship. So pause now and try and give this final paragraph a go. So here we are, here's my idea, and as you can see it's a shorter paragraph. So it says, finally, Hitler's banning of opposition parties and unions was quite an important reason why Hitler became dictator of Germany because it meant that his opponents could not organise against him. For example, he banned opposition parties and banned workers' unions from 1933. This helped Hitler become dictator because political parties could not be organised against him, and if they led opposition, they could be placed in the concentration camp to be re-educated. So that would have created quite a lot of fear. Also, workers' unions were banned, which meant that they could not organise strikes against Hitler. This was important as workers were the natural opposition to the Nazis and they were likely to be supporters of the Communist Party. However, this is not important because without the Reichstag fire and the protection law, Hitler would not have been able to ban the other parties. This shows the Reichstag fire was more important. So again, I've set up a clear line of inquiry. I've set up a point with an argument given a little bit of evidence about the laws, explained their impact, and then I've talked about how actually without the Reichstag file this wouldn't have been possible. So I can give a short conclusion now. I can set it up a bit like this, but I've already set up a clear line of inquiry throughout my paragraph. So even if I run out of time for a conclusion, I should be rewarded quite significantly because my conclusion is very clear in my paragraphs. I've said one is very important, the other two are quite important, and I've already done some comparisons within the paragraphs. So this should just be a short summary conclusion now, rounding off my argument. Okay, I hope you found it useful how to do the bullet point question at the end of the exam. See a challenging question at the end of your long exam that you've got that big answer to give. Hope that gives you lots of tips to help with that. If you found it useful, do have a look at my playlist for lots more help, and also look at my revision guides with all the information you need to help you pass this exam and be very, very successful. Well, hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.